Um, yeah, sorry. Let me just make sure everything is working. I didn't think this was gonna be the first stream that I had while broadcasting this, but apparently so. I really hate this screen setup, by the way, but I am gonna keep it up just in case somebody comments and has like a question or something. Whew. But yeah. I don't really know how to start this one out. Won't lie. Well, fuck it. Let's just get straight into it, shall we? Let's talk about sexual abuse. Fucking Christ. Yeah, I honestly debated on whether or not I was going to talk about this, but it kind of has just been on my mind for the last couple of hours. But, no, it's funny how listening to songs can, kind of unlock a little bit of trauma, as it were. Let's take a little bit of a boat ride, shall we? Watch these dogs get pissed off. But, yeah, sexual abuse. Let's get into it. Fucking weird shit to say, but that's what we're saying today. Oh, hey Eric. Huh. Where do I want to start with this? You know what, I'll go ahead and start, from which, because I've been replaying these few songs, the entire night, so let's just go through them, shall we? So first off, the apology song. I forgot to ask this yesterday about how are your DMs. I just fucking processed that you had said that. Empty. Empty here recently. It's kind of nice. No, nothing, nothing happened. It's kind of just me listening to music, making me think. But, yeah. Kind of been something that, and then I get the DM, how are your DMs, for fuck's sake, guy. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta fucking switch to a bow character. It's kinda awkward going about it. But anyway, the first song that made me think about doing this is the apology song. Which is, which I swear will make more sense as I really get through it. But it made me think about things I could be sorry for. Like past actions and whatnot. And the things that and by the way, this is the sorry song from fucking, what is the funny, the Book of Life. But it made me think of it because where I am now, I'm in a wonderful relationship with Alana. I've never had any issues. Well, scratch that. There have been some issues in the past, but it's never been anything too big. And I'm thankful for it. It's not something. Do I need to jump up there? Oh, there we go. such a weird angle. Goddamn. Fuck, guys. Do I need to jump off? Okay, great. This is such a weird angle to go from. Think he'll take care of them? No? Alright. Okay, well I guess I'm hanging out up here. Fucking Christ. But, definitely some relationships in the past I think I could have handled better. Don't get me wrong, I don't think some of them were going to work out, to begin with. And I've talked about it before. Where the fuck are we going with this shit, by the way? Sorry. Fucking getting distracted by the giant fucking moving airship. Destination reached. How fucking lovely. Makes my life... Shit. I almost fucking fucked that. Did you see that shit? Anyway. Yeah. But I think a lot of those relationships were stemmed from sexual abuse that I want to say endured, but it makes me sound like a bitch, so I hate that. And so we're not going to say endured. We're going to say dealt with. You know, like a man would. Fuck's sake. But yeah, you know, fun things. It's just... I am sorry. Because, you know, who I am now, I would have handled all of those situations so much differently. And there was a lot of sexual tension in a lot of those relationships. Which, you know, in the moment, it felt good for all parties, I think, but to my knowledge, you know, I was always the guy to ask, is that okay? I don't remember pushing any boundaries that were explicitly placed outside of weirdly asking for thigh pics. Yeah, I know, fucking cringe. But it's the only thing I can think of. So with that, I remember any sexual attention was like a huge part of the relationship with me. Even when I started dating Alana, it definitely was. And I think that's awful. It's never a way to start out a relationship by any means. But it's how I was programmed, for lack of a better term. It's how I was raised, it's what media taught me. You know, women leaving husbands and shit because the sex isn't good. Which is a horrible thing to, like, focus on, but it's what was hardwired into me growing up. And I think it's been hardwired into a lot of other people. It's a horrible, outdated, kind of fucking fuckery, really. Sorry, I'm kind of just going through the motions. So, yeah. Anyway, that's the first song. That's what made me want to do this video, so we're gonna move on to the second song. Oh, how gay. Sorry, I'm just now realizing that if I'm not listening from my PlayStation, it doesn't show, like, it won't play the songs in order. I thought it was just a vehicle mode thing, but apparently not. So, yeah, so that's gay. Anyway, but that is the Apology song by Gustavo Santaolalla and Diego Luna. I don't fucking know. I don't know how to say any of these names. I'm too white. My Hispanic side of the family would be so ashamed. But it is from the Book of Life. And then the second song that I've been kind of replaying in my head and replaying on my phone is Good For You. Now, this is a song from Dear Evan Hansen, and basically it's kind of just, I believe, because I've never had the opportunity to watch the play at all, so I can only go off the context of the song itself and the other songs. But, to my knowledge, right, it's based off of the main character getting with a girl he's always liked. And he pretends, throughout the play, he pretends to be friends with her brother, who I believe died in a car accident. Is that or he committed suicide? Can't remember. Too many songs from my childhood and too many teenager drama plays. But, sorry, moving on from there. Christ, super awkward to really think of. But anyway, it finally coalesces to the point where he just wants to move in with them, with the girlfriend's family, because in his life he only had his mom. She's not usually ever there. Her dad left, or his dad left, sorry. So mom's picking up all the slack. So he's just felt alone, without a parent, no real family is what he felt. Obviously that's not true, for pretty obvious reasons. I think most of us who had single mothers can kind of agree with. But it's an understanding feeling, you know? Holy shit, those are big ass bones. Sorry, fucking, it's like squirrel. But also, what happens in that song is that he's trying to ignore all of his friends who have gotten him to this point. So, the song Good For You is him listening to his mom, basically saying, good for you, whatever, fuck you, sort of song. You know, you're forgetting about me, you're ignoring all that I've done, and, you know, good for you. You're a fucking dickhead. And it made me think, even though right now what I have is great, and I can't imagine, you know, it being any other way outside of like this relationship that I'm in is like what I've wanted. I'm engaged. I don't know when we're actually gonna tie the knot, but soon. Hell, I mean, she's asleep in the next room right now. But in the song it also says, does it cross your mind to be slightly sorry? And that leads back into the other song, which was, you know, the sorry song, the Book of Life. And it just really gets you thinking. Because while I have apologized to a lot of those situations, granted never face-to-face because I don't have their contact information or anything, and it wouldn't even need to be face-to-face, I just like to say it to them, so I say it to the internet. It made me think of the last relationship that I had before I had met Alana. And if Red were in here, he'd recount how I said I'd never get into a relationship again. Like, it was never something I'd ever planned to do again. The idea was insane to me at the time. Because this girl, Rosalind was her name. You know, it was this weird back and forth, broken up, get back together again, and it wasn't because she was bad or anything, or I was particularly bad, it was just a whole lot of emotions in two very emotional teenagers. We both needed something, and we strived to gain it. I really hope this is working, because if it's not, it's going to be really awkward. So, well, let me go check again, just to be sure. Is this not working? Is this not working? Okay, no, it is. Great. I fucking loaded in and it didn't say anything at first. I was like, uh-oh. But it's because I leave big gaps whenever I'm talking and really thinking about something. But anyway, this girl named Rosalind. I crashed hard for this chick. And I believe for a very long time she did as well. I believe I've talked about it in the past, but like, there's a D&D thing that I just won't watch anymore, and it's not because something went wrong with that. It was Fool's Gold, actually. But it's because we would watch it together. It was our thing. Sorry, is that a fucking... I just realized that. These guys are usually hostile to me. I thought it was just, like, on display or some shit over there. Is that a duck? Is that a dog? It's a dog. But yeah. It's something that really gets you thinking. And it was a very rough and rocky relationship for the both of us. Fucking a lot of sexual tension. A lot. In an embarrassing amount. Photos were sent, things were done. It's just how that went. It didn't help that she was a little bit younger than I was. So it was a lot of emotion happening all at once in that from the get-go. And with some breakups that happened mainly because I got scared. And I've walked into a cinematic, so that's fucking neat. I have no idea who the fuck Charlotte is, but we'll fucking ball with it. Ow. Yeah, clearly this is the first time I've met them because I wouldn't do this otherwise. Sorry, I'm just trying to get through this dialogue. I didn't mean for me to run into this. But yeah. I remember in the end we ended up getting back together one last time, and I think by that point she had finally managed to detach herself from needing me, but at the same time I hadn't. I was in a very vulnerable place at the time. I can't even... no, I can't recall. It was a chick from Subway. She had broken up with me and I was scared of her going back and getting abused by her boyfriend, which I've said in the past was the abuse was probably just bullshit. But I'll never know. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to maintain thoughts while paying attention to whatever the fuck this nonsense is. You know what, I'll get my mind re-rolling on the ball going over to the next song. Don't You Dare. By Caden McKay. Love a little song about not falling in love with someone. But ultimately you already are. And it'll never leave your mind at any point. Which I think happens with a few of my relationships. Especially that one. But until meeting Alana, there was definitely this need. I had to have some sort of sexual attention. If it wasn't from a real chick or somebody I met online, it turned to porn. Which is its own thing. This addictive trait. Because it feels good. It really does. Christ. There is so much dialogue in this nonsense. Thank you. For fuck's sake. Can't wait to never use that because I'm not going to pay attention to this quest for, like, at any point. Literally just so I could get that fucking marker right there. It's so stupid. Christ. But in the song it talks about, let me find the exact lyric. Oh, there you go. Don't you dare leave me while I'm still in love with you. I think it's something that I know definitely as a guy, and from my experience talking to other guys, we've all encountered. Still being in love afterwards. And I'm getting a funny little Discord thing. What's this about? Oh, wow, that was super delayed. Sorry, that was Drift saying, I guess I'll come back to life. Which, it'll be nice to have him back on the server. You know, active. Sorry. Finding excuses to get off track. While definitely not as nervous about talking about this as I would have been back then. Still a tricky subject. You know? What the fuck is that? We're gonna ignore the words unless they don't ignore us. Oh, okay, great. Anyway. I feel like this is probably why most YouTubers don't fucking do this shit while actually playing the game and just talk over the game instead. That would be a smart thing to do, but here at Vaas Incorporated, we're not smart, we're plain stupid. So No, there's just a little one left. I'll wait for him to come down here. Yeah. Whenever you really get down into the nitty-gritty of it, I think for anybody this is a super scary topic to talk about. But it's a funny thing. Don't you dare leave me while I'm still in love with you. And the more intriguing part of that song it comes after. And sorry, I'm trying to go off memory because the fun thing about Spotify is whenever you stop paying for it, it stops letting you like look at lyrics and shit. So I'm just gonna have to look it up. Don't you dare lyrics, because I don't want to misquote. There are actually a few different lyrics in this song that I'd like to go over. Nothing's fair when love is war, and I just can't endure any more of the fight when the casualties rise with my heart rate each night. Again, beautiful wording, beautiful bit of symmetry to it. But it was a lot. Because even then I knew it was my fault. I wanted to apologize so badly. You know, just get that last word in, so I'm not carrying it around. But the truth of reality is you will always be carrying that with you. There's no escaping it at all for anybody, for any of us. Because life isn't easy. It never has been, it never will be. Which is a hard thing to hear. Especially whenever I've entered a Satan singing circle. Sorry, I'm like running into distractions here now. The in-game running into distractions is not the problem, it's with my words. And I'm immediately going off track, as you guys can hear. I'm just talking about other shit. And on the same note, I know I should probably make like a script or some shit for this. But yeah, no, I don't do scripts. We're very real here at Vaas Plays Entertainment. Okay, cool, so this is what I'm gonna be doing. My bad, G. I didn't mean to hit you. But and I'm really gonna like psychoanalyze these songs in my own mind, but whether or not this was the artist's intent or not is different. But it is going to be how I interpret them, so to speak. when you're, whenever you're listening to a song, you always end up interpreting it in your own way. So yeah, let's not act like I'm doing anything too weird. But without that ability to feel fulfilled, to feel like that you still have business to attend to in that relationship, it's a crushing weight. I'm gonna have to get off this thing, okay? But just fell out. Fucking gay. Christ. Sorry. Anyway, I'm like going back and forth, aren't I? Which I imagine is probably super annoying. We're just gonna keep doing this. Let's talk. But I keep thinking I've said certain things, and then I have to like double back and be like, oh no. That I never got to say that sorry, and it affected me the most because at the time, it was the second longest relationship that I had. So, it was awful, you know? The opportunity was gone. But it should have been so close. And the reason that it had happened was she had partially blocked me, which honestly, fair enough. It was the right move. And apparently her mom had texted in her stead. I do think that it was actually just her, and it was her saying she was her mom, but same effect regardless. At the time, I thought I couldn't even apologize, you know. And you might be thinking, okay, so why is all this that important? I specifically remember I was working at this really shitty job at a funny little place that everybody knows, at least if you're American, called Bojangles.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fuck that. But yeah, with working at a funny little shitty place called Bojangles, you come to really hate your life. And at the time we were together. It was the last time that we would be together, but it was that time. And I know I'm stalling a lot, but you know, this is real. It's a real thing. So, you know, give me a second to collect my thoughts. I quit my job because I had planned to just leave and go to Utah. Like, that was the actual plan that I had. I was fully prepared, fully willing, and fully ready to go and do that. Which, at the time, I knew it was insane. I knew it would go fucking horribly, but I just did not care. I hated myself. I hated everything about my life. And, you know, fucking teenager with a car, I said, fuck it, why not? Who's gonna stop me? And the answer to that was my dad. He was like, son, that's an awful idea. Let's really think this through. Are you gonna have enough money? And I had done the math. And I was like, yeah, I'll have enough money to get there. And he was like, okay, yeah, really think about this. You're not gonna be able to survive out there. You don't know anybody. If you break down, you're on your own. And even if you get there. And honestly, some of this may just be me rationalizing after he had just said some simple shit. But I'm not gonna be welcome there. Which started a little bit of doubt. But I was, at the time, that's, in that last relationship, that's how serious I was about this girl. I thought she would be the one, because she forgave me after all the times that I had left, which was 2, but still 2 too many, in my opinion. So it really puts it into perspective that it was this awful feeling, which I've gotten into fights, and I think over that feeling of being like punched, nearly stabbed, thrown off cars, thrown off buildings, I'd much rather take that, because I have some measure of control in that situation, than feel this pain, this defeat. You know? Because it's a defeat. Losing the control to say sorry is an incredibly defeating pressure. This crushing weight of it all. It's not something you can artificially render. So, you know, it's truly something of its own. Let's jump to another lyric, shall we? I'm gonna go further up in the song, or further towards the beginning. Dude, no. Just gonna knock him off here. Okay, that's not happening, so that's fine. Please don't knock me off. It would be so embarrassing. Well, I don't know what materials those were, but they're gone. Sure, this will take me up to a funny little thing. Yep. Perfect way to keep it going. These little air travel things are pretty neat for conversation. Wow, that was the shortest one yet. That's insane. Whew. Sorry, I said I was going to go over a different lyric in the song. So, we're going back to the beginning. If I fell through your skies, there's no way you would catch me. There's a tear in my heart, but your patch wouldn't match me. Which, if you really think about it, speaks. It you know, this shit speaking words. It speaks to a lot of people, but especially me in that relationship. I wanted her to fix me, which is asking a lot of someone whenever they're like 4 years younger than you are. That's an insane thing to expect out of anybody, much less someone. I mean, we were both kids, but at the time, you know, I think being 4 years older than somebody, you can agree that it's so much more to expect someone who, when you would have been 13 or something, granted I was not 13, but you'll get the point that I'm going to, they would have been fucking 9. Could you imagine that? A 13-year-old asking a 9-year-old, fix me. That's something you can only go to God for, in my opinion. And even then, it's a hard ask. We were created with this free will to think and to do things and to live our own lives. That it's a big ask for somebody we have to give control. To have them fix us. And that's something I believe only God can do. And I know this is kind of turning into a little bit of a religion spill, but it's my belief. But at the time it wasn't. At the time it was, if I can get this girl, if I can make her happy, she will fix me. And everything will be okay. I've already done this. Probably haven't. But we can all pretty easily agree. Asking anyone to fix you is insane. I'm gonna die, which is crazy. Let me switch to my I will win regardless character.
Use this first. That seemed to work. Use this first. I must counterattack.
I didn't see all these people when I jumped down there.
Death.
But yeah, I expected to be fixed by a person, which I didn't consciously realize at the time. And I think even a lot of young people watching us, and I know it's crazy to say young people whenever I'm just barely, you know, old enough to be talking shit, to say. But I think a lot of young people can agree. What? No, I'd never expect that girl or that guy or they, them, whatever the fuck, to fix me. Or maybe it's on the other spectrum. Maybe you expect to be the person to be able to fix them, which I remember so many times even in other relationships, I was like, I'm gonna be that guy for them. I'm gonna fix them. They are never gonna have any issue at all with me. And even when I started dating Alana, I thought the same thing. I found out pretty quickly and pretty early on that I was her first for a lot. I was like, I'm gonna be the best guy ever, and to this day I know I fail. But we work through that. I'm not so foolish to believe that I can or will be perfect. There's gonna be problems. There's gonna be issues. You know. There is just stuff with that. So yeah. Sorry, I'll switch to another lyric now because I'm running out of words to say. Don't you dare do something so cliche, just get out of my daydreams, you're an unwelcome guest. Oh, that was easy. Sorry, let me start from the beginning. Fuck. I guess the shit on this thing is going to be gone. Yep. Cool. Luckily it was a common chest anyway. Christ. Anyway. Don't you dare make me fall in love with you. Don't you dare do something so cliche. Just get out of my daydreams, you're an unwelcome guest. Stop making me miss you. 'Cause you leaving's for the best. 'Cause I just couldn't stand having you as my crutch. You're a simmering stovetop I was tempted to touch. If you ever return, it'll burn me too much to bear. So don't you dare. And I know that quote was a little bit longer. But I couldn't imagine her texting me or showing up or anything like that. I couldn't imagine that with anybody I've dated in the past, just showing up. Because we hurt each other. There's a scar there that neither of us will be able to rid ourselves of. And we touched that so tough. Sorry, fucking words, man. Words are hard. But you know, you touch it. If we fucking screwed ourselves up, man. That sexual desire only deepened the need to feel that warm feeling is forever stuck. With me, it may be with her, but I know for a fact with me, it's stuck there. It's gonna take me a long, long time to get past that. Because, unfortunately, I have to say my father was right again. I have a very addictive personality. It looks like I've already done this one. So we're not gonna... I don't see it automatically, so I'm just gonna ignore it. So, anyway, sorry. If any of them were to show up and want anything more than an apology, I would be in a very weird situation. Because, you know, if I have ever fallen in love with a person, there's always going to be this portion of me that loves them, unless that love turned into hate. And with 3 relationships in particular, I don't hate them for anything they did, because in those relationships I still to this day see myself as the major problem. I don't remember them wronging me or doing anything I didn't specifically ask for. Is that a fucking bird? No, that's the scythe guy. Yeah, I don't need to go up there, so. But I'd be in a very weird circumstance. I'm old enough now to where I'm not foolish enough to say I'd like break something off with anybody. And there are definitely some things that I wouldn't do. But I'd feel what's the word, required? Maybe it's not required. Maybe it's something else. God, I'm trying to find the words. See what I mean? It's difficult. I would feel that they are entitled to some form of compensation. That's the word I'm looking for. Because even though that's bullshit. Yeah, because it is. It's how I was raised. You know? I remember growing up, it was like, don't you ever treat a woman wrong. And because in my heart, I feel like I did them wrong, and granted, you know, I was a child. I didn't know any better. I know that. I feel that I still feel like they are entitled to some form of compensation to that degree. Because a part of me still yearns to please, to help. Yeah. But it would be bad. We would, there would be hurt there again. Moving on, and I know it's all so shallow, but a shallow cut still stings. And before my heart becomes Amelia's heir, I need to clip its wings. So don't you dare keep mocking me with those 1,000 little things that I adore. Let me ignore you. Don't let me care. That continues on the point that I've been harping about a little bit, but it is a little different. Some weird shit going on here. I teleported to the wrong spot, it looks like. Yeah. I don't know who Amelia's heir is, by the way. So I don't really know how to comment on that. But to this day, I know that there would still be an attraction. There would be something about them that I still like. Because, again, that's how I'm made. How the fuck do I get here? Flue Cinder. I don't know how to actually get here, so we're just gonna... We're gonna take this funny little ride that I know of. It should be the Clementine line. Anyway, this bitch is gonna say a whole lot of words. Anyway, we're gonna ignore her the rest of our ability. But yeah, once you fall in love with someone, there will be 1,000 different things that you fall in love with. The way they look, the way they talk, the way they feel, the way they smell. It's something that will resonate with you forever. And this water is super loud, so let me just turn that down, shall I? It's a lot more bearable, I think. So, yeah, there are a thousand little different things that they'll do, and it's not something they can control, it's your issue. Unless they're manipulating you, which, I've talked about that before. It's a lot easier to pick that sort of thing apart, pick that sort of thing out. Manipulators versus people who actually cared and you fucked up. It's pretty obvious looking back. Anyway, let's play this song and then we'll switch up to a different one. Though I know I'm to blame for the pieces I'd steal, for the time I've kept pretending it's real. And now that it's ending, I still have more feelings to spare, but don't you dare. Don't you dare. So, really talking about the points that I'm gonna make anyway, huh? Stop and shit. And I know this is kind of turns into less of a talking about sexual abuse thing, but there's the way that I acted really determines a lot of that. Was determined by a lot of that. And it's like, yeah, whatever, who cares? What are you talking about this shit, Vaas? But it's just something that occurred to me. How I acted in relationships then was just so critical to that, to those couple of years. Which is funny, to say the least. I understand why so many parents become these helicopter parents. And it's because how can you be anything but worried when there's people like that in the world? Kids are innocent. even when those kids turn into teenagers, they're innocent. You know, I don't know. I didn't know. They didn't know. Because how could you? How do you prevent human anguish? It's, again, one of those things I think only God can do, or a God can do. Sure, I was meant to have dialogue with that guy, but I'm just not feeling it. Yeah, so. Yeah, now that it's ending, I still have more feelings to spare. If they came back, I would still feel something. Alright, now for the last song, which, whew, I won't lie, is kind of a doozy, because it's long. I think I'm required to kill these guys. Yep, there's my way back. It just deleted my thing, didn't it? Before it got in there. Fucking neat! Yeah, I don't even have it anymore. Yay, alright. Christ. Anyway, the last song that I grabbed onto tonight, this morning, is called Confrontation. And this song is from a funny little musical based off a funny little book called Jekyll and Hyde. Now, if you're like super new to the channel, like from these past couple of months, you know nothing about some of this shit. But I had a fun, and by fun I mean fucking awful, issue with, sorry, struggling to speak. Still another topic that I don't feel too comfortable about talking about. But I'll talk about it nonetheless. But it's multiple personality disorder, which sucks. It's made me do some things that I really don't like, and that I really hate about myself. It's the reason that in one of these relationships I feel so responsible for how things panned out, because even though I did not have control at the time, it's fucked. You know, it's a really fucked thing to do. Anyway, so to re-elaborate, for those who haven't been on here too long, and by the way, we're super close to 100 people. Super proud of that. Anyway, to elaborate, Wow, my fucking audio is fucking up a lot. Sorry. Just trying to find a way to avoid talking about it, because I hate talking about it. Anyway, with multiple personality disorder, a lot of the time, depending on the case, you can still be somewhat conscious during the thing. The episodes. And, you know, when that happens, it's super fucking freaky. For a multitude of reasons. But, more than that, you know, depending on the personality, as it were, like, terrified of how that presents you, you know? And for me especially, there was this one particularly horny individual, who I nicknamed Lucky, because he liked to get lucky, which was hilarious, because I was a virgin up until, like, a couple of years ago. But yeah, he was a pretty dominant personality at the time, and obviously was developed by sexual abuse, because he had this need to be in control, and his primary source of control was that sexual tidbit. And I've got to unplug my headphones because the audio is glitching out. Hopefully. Alrighty, there we go. Now you guys should be able to hear me. Sorry. Uh, my OG headset. Let me make sure that I'm actually being heard now. So, sorry, let me just do that real quick before I really go back into it. Cool. You guys can hear me, even though my audio is doing some weird shit, which sucks. Let's see. Hopefully it's better now. That is awful. Why are you doing that? Sorry. Fun little audio issues that I'm going to be having, apparently. Sorry. Fun little audio issues that I'm going to be having, apparently. I'm going to try to fix that. Christ. Okay, are we good? Okay, are we good? Awesome. Sounds like we're back to peak audio efficiency. My apologies to the one viewer that I have, which is probably just me, listening for my own audio. But whatever. Anyway, Confrontation, Jekyll and Hyde, the musical. So let me just pull up those lyrics and continue on from my point. Anyway, Slucky was the dominant personality at the time. He was telling me he was going to ruin my relationship. He was going to make everybody hate me, and things were going to go awfully. Which wouldn't happen too badly, but it would indeed happen. In a sense. So, I would soon break up with this girl, who, for sake of argument, I will just call Jay. And I felt horrible because I really, really liked her. I didn't like her smoking problem, but, you know, it was something I was willing to contend with. Sorry, fucking just... Yeah. You just... again, a lot with that. There's a lot of things you try to make it feel like less of your fault, and pointing out bad things just makes you feel more right, makes you feel less bad about it. But obviously it doesn't work. In any case, she was great. She was willing to contend with a lot of things, I feel. She had it rough growing up, very difficult childhood. But she as a person was stellar. You know? Some people judged her, some people, you know, treated her like a fucking weirdo because of the way she dressed, the things she did. D&D, this nerdy sort of habit and shit. This would be the girl that got me into D&D. Um, I would stop playing with them before this because of ROTC responsibilities, which super regret now. It was fun at the time, but not worth it. So, yeah, a lot of regret there. Anyway, sorry, fucking going off track, as I so typically do. Ah, fuck. Anyway, broke up with this girl. Instantly started going into a mental breakdown. I was panicked. I was still freaking out because I started having some pretty vivid dreams, which any time that happens with me is never good. No, so this shit will just shoot me if I walk out in front of it. Hmm. Sorry. It's kind of a guy thing for that one. It's like, ooh, cannon. A lot of cannons, actually. Fuck. Anywho, before I get off track again. That's probably what I need to take it to, huh? So very quickly, going into these mild panic attacks, we'll call them. Lost control that weekend. 3 days. It was the longest time I'd ever fully lost control. I doubt my mom noticed because I was kind of keeping to myself anyway a lot around that time. So I don't blame anybody for not noticing a difference and shit. It was an issue that I brought up before with her, but it's a weird thing. Sorry, I'm just finding a way to complain, aren't I? Super guy. Fucking. Anyway, so from my perspective, get home Friday and like crash into bed and then wake up Monday is what it felt like for me. And when that happened, it was this long string of texts to get into the pants of like this school whore. And I know that sounds awful, but it's what she was, so. That's cool, bitch. I don't want anything to do with you. Have I hit everything over here? No, I need to go to the next island over. Anyway. Obviously it worked, because she's kind of just wanted to fuck everybody. Daddy issues of her own. That instantly turned into a thing for a while. by a while, I mean a total of 1 week of me, trying to be nice. Because in that situation, she was a bit of a victim as well of that circumstance. But quickly got out of that relationship. And I know that you're probably like, where is this going? Promise we'll get there. Sorry, I have to sneeze. Alright, sorry. I felt it coming. So, yeah. This would then cause Jay to create a mask, which is very reminiscent of the Terminator, from my memory. Very well done, because we were in the same art class together. That was one of the reasons that I really got to know her. And we had a project for paper mache masks, which I believe to this day I still keep a copy version of mine, because I would later go to absolutely fucking destroy it. The original. I don't know what the fuck I need to get that to there, but I don't know how to do that. Do I break the bottom? Do I need a water character or some shit? Fucking distracting puzzle. Alright, anyway, Anyway, she would make a mask called Two-Face. At least that's what I remember it, because I remember her talking about it, and I knew it was because of me. I sat in front of her, and I heard her explaining it to a pair of girls. And she, because I have a lot of self-hate for myself, I feel like she was right. It was a completely different person than I had presented myself to be. That's what Lucky was. That's what I was. I was scared. I was terrified. I didn't know what to do. I was like, I'm gonna break up with her so she feels no responsibility towards me. Or, like, whatever I do, I'm not gonna be awful. And it feels... And every time I bring up multiple personality disorder, it feels like this fucking excuse. Because it was too convenient. You know? It feels and looks like an excuse whenever you look back at it. It's not something I had control over, but, it looks too convenient. Feels too convenient. And I can't blame anyone for thinking that. So, I would then go to make a mask that represented a different personality called THS, which was like a combination of all of my worst factors. Everything I hated about myself coalesced in one, hidden under this American boy facade that I really tried to go for with ROTC and such, which is the copy that I still have to this day. Basically, yeah, hating, fucking hate myself to this day. Anyway, sorry, we'll go into lyrics. Confrontation. Jekyll and Hyde. It's over now, I know inside, no one will ever know. The sorry tale of Edward Hyde and those who died. No one must ever know. Pretty obvious one there. No one can really understand that from what I was doing and dealing with at the time. Because it's a weird thing. So yeah, it's not something someone can understand. It's not really meant to be understood as badly as I want it to be. But even though I want it to be so badly understood, no one must ever know. It's embarrassing. It's not something I want to have anybody find out about. You know, because who would? It's a sorry tale. It's fucking horse shit is what it feels like. They'd only see the tragedy, they'd not see my intent. The shadow of Hyde's evil would have forever killed the good that I had meant. Which, if you're not kind of seeing the little bit of a comparison that I have going on there, you know, with that I had meant to do good. I didn't want to hurt her, I wanted to separate her from the problem instantly. But it was too late for any of that. The issue had been made, the problem has been done. So, what do you do? What do you do? Am I a good man? Am I a madman? It's such a fine line between a good man and a... which he would say madman, but he's cut off by Hyde, his alter ego personality. I don't know why I keep reading that. I've read it like 1,000 times. But shit like that'll have you questioning. Always. All the time. Every day. Am I a good man? Or am I just so mad that I try to fool myself into believing that I am a good man? But that's when Hyde cuts in. Do you really think that I would ever let you go? Do you think I'd ever set you free? If you do, I'm sad to say it simply isn't so. You will never get away from me. And again, the similarities line up a little too perfectly for me. I can't escape it. It's part of me. I've not had any issue with that since then, because I went through some other stuff that I'm not going to get into. But it was an inescapable thing for me. The problems that I'd caused. And so I caused them. This part of me just existed. There wasn't a escape from it. Jekyll would say, all that you are is a face in the mirror. I close my eyes and you'll disappear. It's what I wanted to do. You know, it's just in my head. If I ignore it enough, it'll go away. Wouldn't that be so easy? You ignore the problem and it leaves. Never to haunt you again. Wouldn't that be nice? What a perfect little fucking idiot I am. What a fucking moron. And my controller gets stick drift as I try to scroll through the lyrics. Thanks. Anyway, Hyde responds with, I'm what you face when you face in the mirror. Long as you live, I will still be there. Again, repeating the same shit that I just did. One would almost say that I've been influenced by these songs to make this video. Fucking insane, I know. I can't wait to cut this down because of how many fucking empty silences I'm gonna have. Anywho. Jekyll says, all that you are is the end of a nightmare. All that you are is a dying scream. After tonight, I shall end this demon dream. Hyde will say, this is not a dream, my friend, and it will never end. This is one nightmare that goes on. Hyde is here to stay, no matter how you may pretend, and he'll flourish long after you're gone. Which was, again, a core basis of my fear of what if I don't wake up? Would anybody know? You know, I didn't have any real friends at that point. Even at this point, it'd be a little bit of a stretch. How many people would really know if I go missing? And I'm just replaced with one of these things in my head. But yeah, that's pretty fucking. That's a pretty fucking depressing thought. But it's real. That's what makes it so depressing. So, this demon, this issue, disorder, disease, madness would be the driving force in that relationship. And it spawned, from my understanding of it, I'm no doctor, from this sexual abuse. It was the coping mechanism that was turned on. Because, as you'll soon see with this next fucking lyric, soon you will die and my memory will hide you. You cannot choose but to lose control. Which is something that happened with my sexual abuse. The one that had occurred to me. I forgot it for 7 years. Actually, no, not 7 years. I was 8 when it finally ended. About a month after that, I would have pushed it out of my mind. And when I was in 7th grade at an assembly, I would just suddenly remember it. What the fuck is this nonsense? Fuck it, not my... That's just not my problem. Unless this is the solution. Okay, it's just gonna jiggle then. But my, I would kind of lose sight of that because I would forget it. And then I would remember it and it would start kind of, scarring the rest of my life again. But Hyde would go on to say, "You can't control me. I live deep inside you. Each day you'll feel me devour your soul." Jekyll would say, "I don't need to survive like you need me. I'll become whole as you dance with death, and I'll rejoice as you breathe your final breath." Which leads into my issues with suicide. I've come pretty fucking close to ending it before. You know, if it was something I had, if it was outside of anything that, I didn't have control on, I wouldn't be here. You know, all it would have taken for me a few times is just one trigger pull. Wow, this is super gay. Anyway, yeah. I remember I specifically thought about cutting myself a lot, but because I have this fucking urge to be efficient, uh, it occurred to me in my brain that don't cut yourself. If you're gonna do anything, make sure you do it right. So it was just like suicide. So I never cut myself. Definitely some times where I got really close. Thought about it. I think the most I ever did was scratch myself. Actually, no. The most I've ever done is make my knuckles bleed from hitting shit. Which, to this day, I still have funny little calluses on my knuckles from where I beat the shit out of a punching bag, barehanded, like a fucking moron. I shit you not, my skin was so fucked up on my knuckles, it was like I had to have them bandaged or wrapped in some sort of format for a month. But yeah. Anyway, moving back to the actual issue at hand, suicide. Got pretty close. And by pretty close, I mean revolver in mouth. Like I said, if I'm going to do it, I was going to do it right. And I remember the thing that made me stop. And it's so stupid because I didn't even end up being able to go. But there was this party invitation on the ground in my mother's car. To where I was the only person that she had invited. And it's my friend called Phoenix. Speaking of which, I've not heard from her in a while. Last I heard, she was pregnant, so congrats to her. And if it didn't go well, I'm sorry. But I don't know. I'm not talking in a minute. Anywho, wow, natural fucking disaster right there. Moving forward. Yeah. It was, I saw it on the ground and I was like, it'd be pretty depressing if, I was meant to be there and I didn't show up because I shot myself. Yeah, I don't want to be an issue for anybody else. But, death looked like the answer. I'm just realizing that this shit is, canonically blowing so fast that the trees are fucked up from it and are growing funny. See that shit? Kinda cool. Gonna have to pop back over here. Sorry. Sorry, I gotta look at the next lyric now. Anyway, Jekyll, I don't need you to survive like you need me. Oh wait, no. Become whole as you dance with death, and I'll rejoice as you breathe your final breath. Hyde responds with, I'll live inside you forever. Which is even after I go. If I go that way, that will be it. That is going to be the part of me that everybody remembers. He was depressed. He had multiple personality. He was this fucking rude asshole. He was that kid. That kid. you know, that kid, the one who shot himself, that's what I would have been. Even after even after I would have ended myself, that's all I would have been. Which legacy has always been a very big thing for me. Because, you know, again, I had this need that would, as I became older, turn into a sexual need to be remembered in some format. But knowing that would be my legacy, also I'm gonna keep up with the lyrics here. And I know that now and forever they'll never be able to separate Jekyll from Hyde. Continuing my point flawlessly. They would never be able to separate Jekyll from Hyde. Because if you kill yourself, there's no, like, this video wouldn't have happened. There's no explanation. Yeah, it's just...
Right.
how they'd see you. It's one thing. Wouldn't matter what you've done later on, or what you would have done later on. It's just what you did. What you were. Could you imagine? Like, I hate to start using other people as an example, but fucking, like with East. Earlier today, she was, she had posted something that looked like, partial nudity, which I have an issue with. It's listed, you don't do it, especially when you're a kid, because that will get everybody in trouble. Now, if East were to go and do that thing, to give up, that's how she'd be remembered. Which is awful. And just so it's fair, I'm gonna do Dark Souls as well. If Dark Soul were to do something awful as well, the last thing he would be remembered for is, oh yeah, that guy who we made fun of and said we'd fuck his mom. It's like, do you want to be that? Because that's what you'll be if you end it early. It's powerful. It's a very powerful message that I think is, like, very easily overshadowed if you're not looking at it. Which, granted, I might be wrong, and it's not a powerful message at all. Anyway, Jekyll would say, "Can't you see it? It's over now. It's time to die." Hyde will say, "No, not I, only you. If I die, you'll die too," Jekyll says. Hyde says, "You'll die in me, I'll be you." Jekyll will say, "Damn you, Hyde, leave me be." Hyde says, "Can't you see you are me?" Jekyll will say, "No, deep inside." Hyde said, "I am you, you are Hyde." And finally the song ends with them killing themselves. I believe them killing themselves. Granted, never seen the play, so I may be wrong. But the insinuation there is, "I will see you in hell." And Hyde says, "I'll see you there, Jekyll." And Jekyll says, "Never." So, that's what he's remembered for, you know? It's not Jekyll, the good doctor. It's also, I'm pretty sure that's reversed. Let me, sorry, let me just, no, that is right. Okay, cool. Sorry. Keep seeing Jekyll as the evil person for some reason. I don't know. It just sounds more evil. Which is probably why. That person's captured. I guess I'll have to get them out. Oh, nice. Easy door open. Anyway. The fuck is this guy? Huh. What a fucking lad. Cool, so I guess we're following them because I'm also intrigued. Um, yeah. Anywho. Hopefully I'm gonna sneak up on them, not just like... fucking... Okay, cool. Oh, okay. Interesting. Um, Christ. But yeah, that's honestly the end of my rant. I know those 2 hours. I can probably go through and cut out the empty bits of me dealing with dialogue and shit. And it'll be like less than that. But I am going to end it here. Yeah. I don't know if you enjoyed. Probably not. Well, I guess the last thing you guys are going to see me is do this.